What's poppin', everybody? Welcome to another episode of Real G Football. I am Jeff Wall, and today we're going to start things off with the Champions League final that was PSG Bayern Munich. I thought it was one of the more competitive, closely contested finals we'd seen in a long time. The talent was stacked on both sides. Neither side was really a true underdog in this one. I don't think anybody was really saying that either side was a true favorite after everything that I had listened to and watched. And it was close. It was definitely close. PSG obviously conceded possession, and for good reason. Bayern do tend to pin other sides back with their incredible pressing under Hansi Flick, who has done an amazing job with the squad, obviously. Incredible, phenomenal stuff from Bayern Munich. Obviously, Lewandowski, he got so close a few times. Neymar as well, and Mbappe as well. And you know what? There's a lot of trash talking in this saying, oh, he should have finished this. Oh, he should have finished that. Oh, Davies could have done better. Look, man, these teams were going up against another great team, another great side. You're not supposed to look that good. You know, a 1-0 result is honestly fair in my opinion. PSG, like I said, they conceded a little bit of that possession, but it was thoughtful. They knew that they couldn't really compete with Bayern in that area. They knew that they could hit Bayern on the break, and they almost did a few times. They almost did. I think the clearest, well, what should have been a more clear-cut chance is where, you know, they had the break where Neymar had the ball and Mbappe was running in front, but he couldn't quite find his feet to find that final killer pass to Mbappe. And to me, that would have been probably one of the best chances. Obviously, there was a shot where Mbappe had it right in front of the net, but realistically, you gotta give credit where credit is due, man. The defenders in this game and the keepers in this game were on point. They were probably the best out of anybody in this entire game, and they really proved that. Mbappe, you know, yeah, maybe he could have finished that a little bit better, but honestly, Bayern didn't give him a good chance to do so. Manuel Neuer was making clean saves. You always felt comfortable that he was going to stop every shot that was coming his way if you're a Bayern fan or a Bayern player, obviously. And I think the same goes for PSG. Keylor Navas did an amazing job. Obviously, the Kingsley Coman goal, but realistically, man, other than that, that's all there was to it. It was really that close. And I think, you know, maybe it wasn't entertaining for everybody, but I thought that tactics-wise, it was a really interesting match for sure. But what a story, too. Kingsley Coman coming from Paris, from PSG, now Bayern Munich, ends the closest chance that they have ever had to winning the coveted trophy. Their best run we have ever seen, with arguably the best team we have ever seen for PSG. And Kingsley Coman, a former PSG player, a Paris guy himself, ends their chances for Bayern Munich. Man, incredible story, incredible story. What may be a little bit more closer to my heart, though, was Alfonso Davies. I mean, obviously we know, refugee from Africa, from Ghana. What an amazing story. Only 19 years old still. Amazing, Alfonso Davies. I mean, he has a place in my heart. Everything he does on the pitch is a Canadian heritage moment, by the way, guys, in case you didn't know. An amazing story for him. Every time I see his energy on social media, it's just, he's just got the most infectious energy, and I'm so happy for him. He was one of the reasons I, you know, slightly sided with Bayern in that one. If I were to pick either one, you know, I would have had to pick Bayern just because, you know, what a great story for him. And then, you know, to Lewandowski also getting that Champions League trophy that he has been so close to so many times with Bayern over these years. And they've all been very, very close throughout this entire decade, going back to pretty much their last treble win. And what a season it's been for them, and PSG too. And most experts are noting that it's going to be very tough to buy anybody, especially expensive players like Neymar and Mbappe, in this transfer window. And so they probably won't have many suitors this time, but I do think that they should run it back. I think this is such a good opportunity for them, and to put a stamp on their legacy. For Neymar, he can say that, you know what, I carried this team for a good chunk of it, obviously. Mbappe obviously helps as well. Di Maria was great, but he gets to say that he helped build this squad up into what it is, and he'll always be a part of that legacy. He'll have a place in the heart of maybe in all of French football fandom, or even just PSG alone, which would be great in its own right. He can write its own legacy and say that, you know, it wasn't just Messi and Suarez. It wasn't just the MSN. It was more than that for him. And then for Mbappe, obviously, he has a lot more to go. I'm sure he's going to win a Champions League trophy or two, maybe even three. But he has a chance to become a French football icon for doing it, not just for the France national team, but also for arguably their biggest club, especially at this moment in time. So, in my opinion, I think that they should stay. I think it would be really cool. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below what you think Neymar and Mbappe should do. Should they stay? Should they go? Now, as for some people who are staying and are going, Bayern obviously has some decisions to make. Should they re-sign Boateng? Should they re-sign David Alaba? Should they re-sign Thiago? I think realistically, despite the great performances of all three of those players, I think only one should stay. I think they should be careful, and I think that David Alaba should be that one. David Alaba was amazing, and he's comfortable in pretty much any position, whether it be left back, center back, or central midfield. He's just great, and especially with their high line and his understanding and intelligence of the game and his quickness, he can really cover up things that, Boateng could simply not, and a lot of other center backs really could not. I also think, too, that he can make a really good pairing with Nicolas Sula, given the chance. And of course, when it comes to Boateng, coming off at the end of that game, I think really hurt him, obviously more than physically. I think it really just hurts his chances at staying at Bayern Munich, that's for sure. Maybe at getting a good deal with other clubs, because he hasn't looked that good in past seasons. And obviously part of that is due to his injuries, and that's also a contributing factor. But now, getting older, having just one good season with a really good team, I wonder what it's going to do. I hope someone gives him a chance and signs him and allows him to play, maybe in the MLS or maybe somewhere else. But I think he does have a place amongst other starting squads. He should be a starting center back in most teams, in my opinion. But I do think, for Bayern's sake, they should allow him to leave. And I also think with Thiago having some injury issues as well, sort of in the same boat. And look, Liverpool are going to be, in that race to try and sign him. But I think Bayern should move on. I think they have a lot of other talented players and other players that they could go for. And we'll see what they do in this upcoming transfer window. I don't anticipate it will be a lot, especially with already paying so much for Leroy Sané, but I do think there will be a little something in terms of splashing the cash. As for a team that has splashed the cash, that has got to be Chelsea. Chelsea looks like they are going to be stacking up their squad, and it really seems like that lack of a transfer window, the transfer ban rather, really helped them, because now they've saved up for what no one else was able to save up for, in a sense. Now they got Timo Werner, they got Hakim Ziyech. Now they have Thiago Silva at the back from PSG, and I think that's a really good signing, because as a center back, you want someone there that has that experience, who can really read the game very well and help those guys like Tomori and others to really start learning the game and get a lot better, because that was a massive weakness for Chelsea throughout this entire season. We know that they've been leaky at the back. Kepa definitely hasn't helped, but great defenders might be able to help out Kepa if he does end up staying, or Caballero is in goal. But then they also have potentially Ben Chilwell coming in as well, and I think that would be very interesting. They're spending a lot of money here, and if they can get Ben Chilwell, Thiago Silva, and then eventually, and tell me if this is actually going to happen at this point, Kai Havertz? I mean, that would be an insane squad with tons of talent everywhere, all over the pitch. But man, at this point, I'm just wondering, is this deal even going to get done? We have been on this for a very long time with Kai Havertz. Man, it just seems like it's been forever. Before it was 70, then 80, now it's 100 mil. I'm just wondering if they could even do it. I don't think so. Let me know, Chelsea fans, what you think, if you guys are going to be getting Kai Havertz. To be honest, I'm doubting it. I think he's staying at the very least, he's staying in Leverkusen. If not, he's going to some other club that can afford him, that can pay for him. But I think Leverkusen's a great spot for him. I think he can just prove further what a great talent he is, that he has done all season long. But that's all for me this week. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Ligue 1 is already starting the season. Can you believe it? They're already back in it. PSG coming off that defeat. They're going to have to go right back into things this weekend. The league is starting up quick and fast, so it is going to be interesting to see how everything plays out in the transfer market and how everything plays out in the leagues with such a quick restart and such a lack of time to really get the squad set and ready to go. But if you want to keep up with more of my footy opinions, then you can follow me on Twitter and on Instagram, so that way you don't ever have to wait for another episode of Real G Football. But if you do love this content, make sure to subscribe to Lingo Sports on YouTube, and of course follow us at Lingo Sports on Instagram to get more similar content over there. But until then, we'll see you next time. We out.